It's November 2020, exactly 4 years ago. I'm in my office on a dark November day, gloomy as always and rainy as hell because it's London, England. I'm in this office and I'm physically not allowed to leave because if I leave, I'm gonna lose this job and I'm gonna lose my only income source, and that will mean I can no longer buy food or pay rent. I'm not allowed to go to the toilet too much because if I go too much, I'm gonna get told off. And if I want just one day off to see my family because someone's getting married or it's someone's birthday, I have to ask for permission first. And even then, it's down to how my boss is feeling that day. I always got especially sad around November because it's dark. You wake up at 6 a.m. before work, you get ready, it's dark. You get on that train, it's dark. You get into work at 8:30 a.m., it's still dark. And it's only light when you come into that office, and the only daylight you get is maybe 30 minutes on your break. Then I come out at 5:30 p.m. It's dark, it's rainy, and I have to sit on the train cramped with hundreds of other people on the sweaty London Underground. And I have to be grateful for this opportunity. There's something about this that just doesn't sit right with me. It's emasculating. You don't have control over your own life. Nowadays, my motto is that I refuse to answer to another man, and you need to have this motto as well because it's your basic right to have freedom to do what you want when you want to do it. If you're anything like I was growing up, I grew up a goody two-shoes. I would listen to everything my higher ups said, my teachers, then, that then extended to my managers. But I was so respective of authority that I literally wet myself when I was 5 years old because I was too scared to ask the teacher to go to the toilet. And now it's completely flipped on its head because I despise this authority and having to answer to someone so much that my entire life is about building businesses and helping people escape this. And it all starts with taking back control. Freedom is ripping that control away from whoever has it over you right now. If you're my target audience and you're like the clients that sign up to work with me, you're probably between 20 to 30 years old, so it's probably your boss. The first step is ripping that cord, ripping yourself away and going out into the scary unknown and doing your own thing and taking back that control. However, the problem is taking control back over your own life is just the first step because we have this evil part inside of us, this evil part that always wants to take the easy way out. And in this case, the easy way out is going back and giving that control back to your boss and having that stable paycheck that you know is going to come in every month. You know exactly what you have to do. You can probably slack off a little bit. It's quite a predictable outcome and it's nice and easy in your head. There's not that much change that has to happen. It's the path of least resistance and we want to avoid that at all costs. When you start online business or any business in general, you cannot let your mind betray you. Business is literally a constant war between your logical mind and your emotional mind because business literally is just numbers. If you make enough YouTube videos, you will eventually start making money. But the problem is you make the YouTube videos, and then they don't get any views and your emotional mind takes over. And it's this constant battle between controlling that emotional mind and keeping it still and keeping it happy so that we can carry on being consistent. Now, shameless plug, this process does take time, but if you want to cut it down significantly, in many cases with my clients, it only takes a few weeks to replace their old monthly income from their 9-to-5 job. If that sounds interesting, click the link below to get more details about it. But if you don't want to work with me, just know that it's going to take time. I tell stories all the time about iterating and improving my first ever YouTube channel, the one that I always mention that I have the plaque from. That YouTube channel It took me like 3 months to even see a semblance of any views. It took me like 3 months to get a 100-view video. I didn't even get any subscribers from that video. It then took another like 2 months to get a single subscriber, but then just a few months after that, I had 40,000. Business is exponential, and during this period, this start of the exponential curve, your mind is not going to like it one bit. It's double difficult because you're completely new to it, so you don't know what to expect. You don't know if all these online gurus are telling the truth. And the exact same thing happened with this business. It didn't take nearly as long to get to $10,000 a month as it did with my first business, but it was still like an exponential curve. It's always the same story with any business you start. First, everything's really exciting, and you get through the first week, 2 weeks, maybe month, even 2 months of work really excited. But eventually, it gets to this point, any business hits this point where shit gets difficult. It's not been quite long enough to see results yet, but it has been long enough for you to get bored and think it's not working. And what happens then is many people just quit, move on to something else, or just stop doing things for like years and then restart it all again and just basically reset themselves back to square one. That's why the best thing you can do when starting any business is to accept this. Forget about the time period and just make it part of your life, and accept that it's gonna be part of your life for a long time. Just over a year ago at this point, I had my biggest month in business ever, and it was $100,000 in 1 month. And that was from my other business that my big YouTube channel is from, right? But just a few months after that, I had to make a big decision because I knew that that work on that channel wasn't fulfilling me anymore, and I wanted to move on to something different, something like this where I work directly with people and I help them make money and I help them reach their goals. And I knew that it was gonna take a long time. So I literally committed and I thought in my head, I am willing to put in years of work with no results because I just want to make this work, and I'm willing to do that. In the end, it didn't take nearly that long. I mean, after I had that thought, I think literally 3 or 4 weeks later, I made a video that did really well on this channel, and then it put everything in a very positive trajectory for me. But you have to start with this mindset so that you don't let that bad part of your brain that wants to give the control back to someone else take over. You never want that part to take over, and you always want to retain control. Right now, I'm over here in Bali and I speak to a new entrepreneur, sometimes even multiple, literally every single day. And there's something I'm realizing that all of them have in common. And it's not what you might think. What they all have in common is that they are literally all ordinary fucking people. There is not a single thing that's special about them other than the fact that they just decided to commit to starting something and never stop doing it. To get my personal help with quitting your job and making money online, click the link below. I will help you with literally every step of the way, from designing the thing that you have to sell to making your content to actually selling it and then fulfilling it. I help you with every step because I've done it multiple times for myself. I've gotten multiple businesses to $10,000 a month, so I'm really good at doing this now. Otherwise, that's it from me today. I'll see you in the next video.